Hello all, welcome to 75 cross 75, an exclusive crash course targeting 2024 prelims. Friends, let me give you a brief idea about how our program is going to work. So every day between Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. I will be giving you a video. It will be a recorded video, but I will be giving it on a daily basis. Right? So you have to watch the video. Then based on the video which I give, I will be giving you a material. So watch the video, revise the material which I am going to give. You need not make notes. That is not necessary, right? You save time. So when you watch the video, give your fullest attention. Then revise the material which I give. That will be based on the content what we have discussed. So after your revision, I will be giving you a mini test. So every day I will be giving you multiple choice questions. Watch the video, revise the content, then take that mini test. Alright. So I hope this program adds real value to your preparation and I want you to make maximum use of it. So without further delay, let's start our first topic. That is FSIB, Financial Services Institutions Bureau. First listen to me, then we can have a look at the slide content. So FSIB was set up in the year 2022. It was set up as an autonomous body under Government of India. Now, what is the role of this FSIB, Financial Services Institutions Bureau? They will recommend the names for the positions like directors of public financial institutions like public sector banks like SBI, IOB, Bank of Baroda, and for public sector insurance companies. So for these banks, for these insurance companies, we need to appoint directors, the head of those organizations. The directors will be recommended by, the name will be recommended by this FSIB. See, remember, they are going to only recommend. They are not going to decide finally. They will give only recommendation. The final approval will be given by Appoints Committee of Cabinet. So under a cabinet, we have Appoints Committee of Cabinet in central government. The Appoints Committee of Cabinet is headed by Prime Minister only. So that Appoints Committee only will give final approval. So FSIB is only a recommendatory body. Okay. This FSIB will be headed by a chairperson who will be nominated by the government only. So FSIB will recommend names for directorial positions in government banks, in government insurance companies. They will only recommend. The final approval is given by the Appoints Committee of Cabinet headed by Prime Minister. This FSIB, don't think they will give only advice related to appointments. They will give advice related to appointment of directors. They will give advice of transfer of those individuals. They will also give advice related to extension of the term period. Guna is appointed as the director of SBI, right? Some term extension has to be given. They will give the recommendation. FSIB will give the recommendation, right? They will also advise with respect to termination of those directors. So appointment, transfers, extension, termination, they will give advice. And not just that, they will give advice related to management structure, how the management should be in that organization, that board level management structure advice they will be giving, right? Any capacity building programs they will suggest. The personals of the bank, insurance companies or other financial institutions, their capacity has to be built up. They will be giving a recommendation. Capacity building is nothing but training, friends. So they will give advice. So for training the professionals, right? And also they maintain something called as a data bank. They maintain a data bank. What is a data bank? So in this data bank, all the data related to progress made by these institutions will be noted. All the progress made by this public sector banks, insurance companies, all these will be noted under something called as data bank. Right? So I hope you got some clarity on this FSIB. This FSIB, previously this role was performed by Bank Board Bureau. That Bank Board Bureau was replaced by this FSIB in 2022. So whatever we have discussed, that is what I have given in the slides. So it was set up in the year 2022. It is an autonomous body. It replaced the Bank Board Bureau. Right. So it will recommend the persons for the posts of directors. It is headed by a chairperson. So it will advise the government on matters related to appointments, on matters related to transfers, extensions of term, termination of services. It will advise on matters related to management structure. It will also provide suitable training and development program for the banking personnels. It will also maintain a data bank which contains data related to the performance of these institutions. So friends, why it wasn't news? So it recommended the names for the posts of managing directors of Bank of Baroda and Bank of India. Anyhow, the final decision, as I said, will rest on the appoints committee of the cabinet headed by Prime Minister. Right? I hope you got clarity on this topic. So now let's see two previous year questions which is not based on FSIB, which was based on a different topic which is similar to this content. When you look at that PYQ, you will come to know, okay, for FSIB, questions can come from this perspective. See, have a look. Questions are asked regarding the Bank Board Bureau. So who is the chairman of the Bank Board Bureau was asked. So what the Bank Board Bureau does, it recommends the names, it helps the public sector banks. So what is the function of the Bank Board Bureau? Who is the chairman of the Bank Board Bureau? That is what asked. So in FSIB, let's assume that UPSC is going to ask a question on FSIB. Then what will be the statements? You yourself can construct the statement. Right? So the idea of showing you the PYQ is, once you get more familiar with this PYQ, then when you see a topic, you will start reading from that PYQ's perspective only. Then you will know what should be noted, what should be left. Right? Intention is not to teach you Bank Board Bureau here. Now there is no Bank Board Bureau, don't do that investigation. Don't do post-mortem here. Just look at the question structure. Right? Look at one more question. So the chairman of public sector banks are selected by, even here the answer is Bank Board Bureau. So now what kind of question can be asked? The directors of public sector banks are recommended by FSIB. Like that questions can be asked. Right? I hope you got clarity on the first topic. So let's move on to the topic number 2, that is Pulicat Lake. So Pulicat Lake is located in the Coromandel coast of our country. So Coromandel coast, you will see Coromandel coast in the Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu side. So this Pulicat Lake is located in that coast, and this Pulicat Lake is shared by 2 states. One is Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Listen to my content first, then we will go into the slides. So 90% of the lake is with Andhra Pradesh and 10% of the lake is with Tamil Nadu side. Now, this Pulicat Lake is the second largest brackish water lake in India, the second largest lagoon in India. So, what is this brackish water? These are salt water, but not too salty like oceans. It is somewhere between freshwater and the oceans. Okay. What is lagoon? Lagoon is a seawater region which is separated from the major sea by some barrier island or barrier reef, something like that. So if you take this Pulicat Lake, it is separated from the Bay of Bengal by a barrier island, that is Sriharihota. Sriharihota is also known for Satish Dhawan Space Center, which you have to keep it in mind. Right? When you look at the major inflows into this lake, so we have river Kalangi, river Swarnamukhi, and also we have one more river Arani. It is also flows inside this Pulicat Lake. And Buckingham Canal, right? So around 800 kilometers length Buckingham Canal, which flows from this Pulicat region from Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu. That Buckingham Canal also passes through this Pulicat Lake. This Pulicat Lake is also known for good fishing grounds, right? It has very good fishing grounds. You will find lot of shrimps. So you see lot of fishing harvest going on in this Pulicat Lake. Because of availability of lot of shrimps and other fishes, we see a lot of migratory birds coming to this Pulicat Lake. So one of the migratory bird coming to the Pulicat Lake is the flamingos, beautiful flamingos. Right. So in the month of January in Pulicat Lake, you even have Flamingo Festival. In the first week of January in Pulicat Lake, the Flamingo Festival will be celebrated. Now, this Pulicat lake is so significant, but there are some threat. What kind of threat? The lake is being encroached. The lake is being polluted by releasing the industrial discharge, and also by domestic sewage are released in this lake. So this lake is getting polluted. The lake is being encroached. And we also see indiscriminate fishing which is going on in this Pulicat lake, which is also affecting the ecosystem. Too much of aquaculture, too much of fishing, which is affecting the ecosystem. Right? So this is with respect to a Pulicat lake. So why it was in news, that we will see. That we will see. A restoration program is going on, that we will see. So quickly, whatever we have discussed, whatever I have explained, that is what I have given here. It is located in the Coromandel coast of India. So it is shared by the states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, second largest brackish water lake in our country. It is also the second largest lagoon. Both are after Chilka Lake. Chilka Lake is in Odisha. Right? So lagoon is separated from the Bay of Bengal through Sriharikota, which I have mentioned. Right. So Arani, Kalangi and Swarnamukhi are the rivers which flows into this lake. Buckingham Canal passes through this lake. So we have Pulicat Lake Bird Sanctuary here. I said that this rich prawns and fishes which is found in this Pulicat Lake is attracting a lot of migratory species, particularly flamingos. That is why we have a flamingo festival in the first week of January in Pulicat Lake, which is happening every year. Look at the threats. So pollution is the biggest threat from industrial activities, from domestic sewage, encroachments, rapid development of aquaculture, fishing activities. So this ecosystem has to be restored. So the central government as well as the state government, they are coming up with an ecosystem restoration project worth 128.80 crores. That's why it was in news. Again, these numbers and all will not be asked. Just know about Pulicat Lake, that is what is required. Okay, friends, with respect to map, I will come up with a separate series as a part of 75 only. I will come up with a separate series for map only, places and news only. We will discuss in detail. So in the alongside the regular topics also, I will show you map. Along with that, separately also we will discuss about map. Don't worry. So some PYQs we will see. So this question, all the three statements is not related to Pulicat Lake, but look at the third statement. Pulicat Lake is spread over 2 states only. Answer is correct. So it is of this nature the questions will be asked. This is again for your reference. Right. So let's move on to the third topic, that is flamingos. I gave a hint for flamingos in the previous topic itself. Flamingos, beautiful bird species. You will not get confused with any other bird species. Flamingos, look at the color, right? You will see from red to pink to crimson red. Look at the feathers. It has a long leg. It has a long neck. It has a long leg, long neck. Look at the strong beaks. See, it is so colorful, but don't think it will be colorful from by birth only. No. So by birth it will be slightly white, grayish color, but because of the food it is eating, it eats shrimps, it eats certain crustaceans, algae, which has carotenoid pigment. Like carrot contains that pigment. That pigment, when it eats, it gets that pink reddish color. Okay, see, we have 6 types of flamingos. We have greater flamingos, we have lesser flamingos, we have American flamingo, we have James flamingo, we have Chile flamingo, we have Andean flamingo, of which the greater flamingos, right? So that will be very tall. American flamingo, which will be very pink in color. Lesser flamingo, that is, that is what is widely seen. In terms of numbers, lesser flamingos are larger in numbers, right? So these flamingos, they will live in groups, maybe in pairs or in 10,000s. They will live in groups, right? If you look at their nest, they build a nest. That nest is made up of sand only, right? Like a small mud volcano, they will create a small nest in which this flamingos, like, see, I have given the image here. This is how they build the nest. Right. So flamingo has lot of other interesting characteristics. So if it wants to fly, just like that, it cannot fly. It has to run to a particular pace only then, like flights. It will run to a particular pace and then only it will fly. See, it is a filter feeder. It is a filter feeder. That means, see, if it wants to have something, you know what it will do? It will turn its head upside down. It will, collect water. I mean, it is going to turn the head upside down. It is going to, like how it drinks the water, it is going to collect the water. While collecting the water, it is going to collect some food items. It will shake its head. So all the water will come out. All the water will come out. Only the food will be filtered. That food is going to have it. Right. So it's a very interesting species, flamingo. So we have lot of characteristics. UPSC is focusing more on characteristics. So let's discuss about those characteristics one by one quickly. We should not leave anything. So as I said, it lives in groups. Right, from a few pairs to 10,000. Like it is pink in color, it has long legs, necks, strongly hooked bills. Right, the pink or reddish color that comes from the carotenoid pigments which it eats from the algae, small crustaceans, birds. There are 6 species of flamingo which I have mentioned. There are American flamingos. That is the brightest of all. Lesser flamingo is numerous one when compared to all. Around 1.5 to 2.5 million individuals we are able to estimate. But the interesting part is in India, greater flamingos are more, lesser flamingos are rare. But in general in world, the lesser flamingo population is high. Okay. So as I said, to fly, the flamingos need to run a few paces to gather speed. Flamingos, they live in lagoons, large shallow lakes. It will build a mini mud volcano. That is its nest. The flamingos are monogamous. That means they'll have only one mating partner at least till a baby is born. Okay, so both the male flamingo, father and mother flamingo, they will build the nest, they will incubate the egg. So as I said, the flamingos initially it will not be having the red color, it will be white grayish color. It will take several years to achieve that pink color, that particular hook shaped bill. Right. And in interesting fact, one thing is largely misunderstood. See, look at this image. Look at this image. It is being misunderstood that this flamingo is actually hurting another flamingo. It is largely misunderstood that the father flamingo is hurting the mother flamingo, and from the mother flamingo, the blood flows into the baby flamingo. It is not like that. It is not blood only. It is the milk. So flamingos, the milk is called as crop milk. The crop milk is produced in the digestive tract. In the digestive tract, the milk will be produced. So what happens once the milk is produced, the milk is taken out. The milk is taken out. It is taken to the mouth. So from the mouth, the milk is red in color. So from the mouth, this is a drainage pattern. So from the parent flamingo, the milk is taken out. The milk comes out, it is red in color. So from the other parent flamingo's head, it flows into the mouth of the baby flamingo. So it is a kind of drainage pattern, right? It is a kind of feeding method. So don't misunderstand by looking at this image. Okay, don't think it's a violent species. So yes, how it eats, I said, when it eats flamingo, as I said, it will turn its head upside down, it is going to collect the water, then it will filter, and it is going to consume the crustaceans, algae, whatever it wants. So if the climate is warmer, it is going to stand in the water for a long time to keep itself cool, and you won't believe it can sleep while standing in single leg. Alright, so these are something interesting about a flamingo. So typically found in the brackish waters. So however, it is also found in extremely salt bodies as well. Right. So this is about flamingos and India in particular. So out of the 6 species, 2 are found in India. That is greater flamingo and the lesser flamingo. Greater is the biggest size, I am saying. Lesser flamingo is smallest. Right. But in terms of number in the world, lesser flamingo is more in number. In the world it is more. In the case of India, it is less. Okay. So these 2 flamingos are largely found in the Little Rana of Kutch. Little Rana of Kutch is a part of Rana of Kutch, where both the species you can see. Right. So greater flamingos are common in India. Lesser flamingos are relatively lesser. Right. So about lesser flamingos, because lesser flamingos was in news for a very important reason. Okay, let's know about lesser flamingos. It is the smallest of all the flamingos. So look at the color, look at the beak, right? We see a deep red tip, right? Tip will be black in color. It is deep red. The beak is deep in red. It is smaller. It inhabits in coastal and inland wetlands. Right? So why lesser flamingo was in news? After 6 years of absence, lesser flamingos finally found their way to Pulicat Lake. See, usually, as I said, during the month of January, December, January, that time period, 60,000 plus flamingos will come. See, to Pulicat Lake, lot of migratory bird species from the Siberia comes to Pulicat Lake. Flamingos will be coming in such huge numbers, 60,000 numbers, of flamingos will be coming. But however, for 6 years, these lesser flamingos were not coming to Pulicat Lake. Now, it came to Pulicat Lake. That's why it is very important and very significant. So, 60,000 flamingos used to come. This year, we were able to see only 2,000 flamingos. What is the reason? We are not able to clearly decipher. It is said that maybe due to slight showers of the northeast monsoon, since the rainfall was less, shrimp population was less, since the food was less, flamingos were not coming. We do not know. There can be other reasons also. So it warrants a scientific study. And it is also said that many agricultural families, they have taken fishing and they started harvesting a lot of shrimps. So we do not know what is the exact reason for the absence of flamingos come to Pulicat Lake. But one good thing is now we got at least 2,000 we got, but it warrants a scientific study. All right. So one more additional information I would like to give here, that is regarding annual Flamingo Festival, which I have mentioned already. In the first week of January in the Pulicat Lake, we conduct a traditional event, which is the annual Flamingo Festival. See, of course, flamingo is the main attractive point, but from Siberia, lot of birds comes to Pulicat. So, the scenic beauty. So, this is about flamingo, lesser flamingo, greater flamingo, flamingos in India. I hope you got some clarity. So, about flamingos directly, there was no question. But look at this, filter feeder was asked. Filter feeder, flamingo is also an example for filter feeder. This question was asked, so like this questions can come. So let's move on to the next topic, that is regarding olive ridley turtles. There are 7 different types of sea turtles found in the world, and olive ridley is one among them, and that is the most abundant sea turtle found in the world. So it is found in the warm waters. It is found only in the warm waters, South Atlantic, Pacific, Indian Ocean region. You will find these olive ridley turtles. So these olive ridley turtles, during the month of October, November, they will be coming to the Odisha coast. They will be coming to the Odisha coast. Predominantly, it will come to the Odisha coast. In Odisha coast, we have a beach called as Gahirmata beach. So all it comes to the Gahirmata beach. It will involve in mass nesting, that is called as aribadas. So it involves in a mass nesting. So it will stay there till the month of March, April, then it will leave. Right? So it's a very, very significant event. So that is called as aribadas. It will come between November and December. It will stay until April and May for the mass nesting. So it will come for mass nesting. So though it is largely coming to Odisha, we also see some such events happening in Maharashtra, Goa, Andaman Nicobar, sometimes near Chennai also. We can see such mass nesting, millions of olive ridley turtles, they will be turning up to this Gahirmata beach. Gahirmata beach is the world's largest known nesting site. Apart from Gahirmata, in Odisha only we have Rushikalya as well as Devi river, the mouths of Rushikalya and Devi river we see such mass nesting events. So when during this migratory route, these turtles, they are coming from different locations. When they come in the migratory route, they face lot of threats, indiscriminate fishing, poaching, lot of threat, right? These olive ridley turtles cannot be traded, but we see illegal poaching. So Indian Coast Guard, they have a program called as Operation Olivia. So Indian Coast Guard, they undertake this olive ridley turtle protection program, try to protect the olive ridleys from the poachers, right? So since 1980, Indian Coast Guard is involved in protecting these olive ridley turtles during the migratory period, right? So 7 species are found, I said, in which 5 species of sea turtles it occur in India. It occur in India. I have given the protection status that you can go through. So why it was in news? Andhra Pradesh Forest Department, they released more than 4 lakh hatchlings of olive ridley turtles into Bay of Bengal. That's why it was in news. More than the news, know about the olive ridley turtles. I will tell you one interesting fact. So these olive ridley turtles, so sometimes, so all the mass nesting happens in the seashore. All the mass nesting happens in the seashore. Okay. So these turtles, these small turtles, when they want to return back to the oceans, what happens? Sometimes they get confused. They go to the roadside. Why they go to the roadside? Because of too much of light. Right? See, during the night time, you see a lot of light, vehicles moving on. So because of that, it mistakes. Instead of moving towards the sea, it moved towards the roadside. So a lot of NGOs, they go for a turtle walk, right? During that period, they go for a long walk, they collect all those small turtles, they will leave it towards the seaside. So this is something interesting about the olive ridley turtles. So let's move on to the next topic, that is regarding food fortification. So what is this food fortification, friends? See, rice is being cultivated, wheat is being cultivated, but before the rice, wheat coming to our food plate, it undergoes several levels of processing. It undergoes several rounds of polishing. In that polishing stage, a lot of nutrients of these rice, wheat is actually going down. Since the nutrients are going down, we are not able to get the complete essential macronutrients. So we end up becoming malnutritious. There is rise in hidden hunger. Hidden hunger means when there is no sufficient nutrition supply is given, that is called as hidden hunger situation. There is a rise in hidden hunger. So whatever food we eat, since it undergoes different levels of processing, lot of nutrients are lost. So how to overcome that loss? Food fortification is one methodology. Food fortification is, put it simply, it is the external addition of nutrients to our food. Externally, you are adding iodized salt, right? You are adding iodine to the salt. Externally, you are adding iodine to the salt, so that when you eat salt, you also take iodine, right? So externally, let us add essential nutrients into our food items. So that is addition. So fortification is the addition of key vitamins and minerals like iron, iodine, zinc, vitamin A to vitamin D, etc. with rice, wheat, oil, milk to improve the nutritional content, right? So can we add whatever nutrients we want into the food? No. So Food Safety Standard Authority of India has come up with a guideline. So if it is going to be wheat flour and rice, then you can add iron, vitamin B12 and folic acid. If it is milk and edible oil, you can add vitamin A and vitamin D. If it is double fortified salt, then if it is salt, you can add iodine and iron. When I say double fortified, that means 2 inputs are given. Okay, so you will see this kind of symbol plus F. That means that item is fortified. Next time when you go to supermarket, you buy some salt, sugar or whatever, milk, rice, just check for this logo. If that logo is present, that means externally nutrients are being added. So now you may get a question. Sir, if we add this external nutrients, taste will come down, price will go up. See, taste will be slightly, it might be affected, but you cannot identify or differentiate the taste. And price, yes, it might go up. It is said that it might go up by 1 or 2%, but the benefits are huge. For every 1 rupee spent on the food fortification, you get benefits up to 9 rupees, right? So benefits are more, so we have to go for this food fortification. See, look at the nutritious condition of India. As per the National Family Health Survey, you will know that 67% of children are anemic, 57% of women are anemic, every one third of the child is suffering from chronic undernourishment, fifth of child in India is affected by malnourishment, hidden hunger. So 70% in general are not consuming enough micronutrients. So there is no balanced diet. Either you eat more or you eat less. There is no balanced. It's high time that we protect our population, not just with food security, but we should secure them with the nutritional security. But the interesting news today is excess consumption of fortified food might have adverse effect. See, on an average, we need 10 milligrams of iron per day. Through fortified wheat or fortified rice, we might get around 2/3 of the iron requirement. But when we eat more rice, when we eat more wheat, or when we eat more rice and wheat, what will happen? That will result in, when we eat more rice and wheat, that results in more intake of iron. Maximum 40 milligram per day is the threshold limit. But when we have more than that, don't think that when you have more than that, we'll become more stronger because more iron. Don't think like that. When you consume more and more of iron, your body will stop absorbing other nutrients. So you will have deficiency of zinc, deficiency of calcium, and that will result in other diseases. Alright? So this is the problem which was highlighted by the scientists. That is why it was in news. Right? Hope you got some clarity. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is the nutrient-based subsidy scheme. Nutrient-based subsidy scheme. See, for some questions, I would have not given PYQs, but wherever I can give, I will present PYQs. Nutrient-based subsidy scheme. See, for a plant to grow well, we need phosphorus, we need nitrogen, we need potassium. These are very important for its photosynthesis, for its root growth, overall development, etc. But all these nutrients has to be given in the right proportion. In India, since urea, a nitrogen-based fertilizer, which is available at a very cheaper price, because government is giving huge subsidy for urea. You know what? Urea's MRP price is fixed by government only. So let's say Guna fertilizer company, I come up with a urea packet, 45 kg urea packet I am coming up with. I will not fix MRP. Government will fix the MRP. Government will fix a low MRP, and whatever loss Guna is making, government will compensate. For example, one bag of urea is 1000 rupees, assume I am the producer, I keep 1000 rupees. Government says MRP is 400 only. I will face loss, 600 loss, yes or no? Government will give that loss as subsidy. So for urea, huge subsidy. So we see indiscriminate use of urea as fertilizer in India. Huge ureas are being used. See, nitrogen is important, phosphorus is important, potassium is important, but huge amount of urea is being consumed because of its lower cost. See, look at the advised ratio. This nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium has to be given in this 4:2:1 ratio. But India's average is 6.1:2.5:1. And if you take Punjab, look at the ratio, 31.4:8:1. 31.4:8:1. What is the recommended ratio? 4:2:1. But what is the ratio which they are using? 31.4. Think how much urea they are being using. Think how much phosphorus they are being using it. This has to be reduced. This has to be reduced. But we cannot blame the farmers. We cannot blame the farmers because urea is so cheap. Urea is so cheap. Right? Others are costlier. So they go and they buy urea. What is the consequence when you take excess nutrient? Then we saw in the previous topic, excess iodine will come up with complications. So even here, excess amount of nitrogen is going to come up with a lot of complications. See, this excess fertilizer will affect the soil fertility. These are also salt. Excess salt will affect the soil fertility. These salt dissolved in the water percolates deep into the soil. It will affect the groundwater. These salt along with the water, it can drain into the nearby lake, water bodies. It can affect the water bodies. It can pollute the water bodies. It can result in eutrophication. That is, these nutrients going into the water bodies might trigger algal bloom. Algae will be formed. These nutrients, algae will eat. So in the lake, if you have a nearby water body, that water body, let's say there is a lot of urea which is getting mixed. These urea will be consumed by algae, and the algae will grow. When algae grow, it will form a thick mat-like structure. It will form a thick mat-like structure over the water body. That will prevent the sunlight entering into the water. That will consume more oxygen inside the lake. See, it's a different topic which we can discuss later also. But link this topic, excess fertilizer intake, link it with a topic called as eutrophication. Eutrophication. So water bodies gets polluted, soil gets loses its fertility, underground water gets contaminated. So too much of fertilizer is not good, but unfortunately, since the fertilizer urea is so cheap, farmers are using urea in large number. So here where to avoid this, in 2010, government came with nutrient-based subsidy. Other than urea, we have phosphorus, we have potassium. So other than urea, let us also give subsidy for phosphorus, potassium, so that others also becomes cheaper. So people will start consuming other fertilizers as well. So under nutrient-based subsidy program, government wants to promote a balanced fertilization of soil. So here a fixed amount of subsidy is given for potassium and phosphorus fertilizers. So previously for urea a huge subsidy was given, but now for phosphorus and potassium also subsidy is going to be given. But that's a difference you have to note. For urea, the MRP itself will be fixed by government. But for other phosphorus or potassium based fertilizer, the MRP will not be fixed by government, but government will give us fixed subsidy. Government will give a fixed subsidy to the fertilizer companies. The fertilizer company will take the subsidy and they will fix the price. But if it is urea, MRP itself will be fixed by the government. Okay, for both, put it simply, for urea only huge subsidy was given, but so because of that more indiscriminate use of urea was happening since 2010, government came with a new scheme through which government is giving subsidy for other fertilizers as well. Program is implemented by Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. I will give you some more information. In India, almost 60 million tons of fertilizers are being being consumed. 60 million tons of fertilizers being consumed. In the 60 million tons, almost 30 million tons or 30 to 33 million tons is urea. The remaining is the other phosphorus, phosphate based fertilizers. So huge amount is from urea. And you should also understand 30 to 33 is from urea, remaining is the other fertilizers. Even in this urea, 30% we import and others 50% we import. Right? So what you should know is almost 60 million tons of fertilizer we are consuming. If it is urea, 30% of the consumption is coming through import, others 50% is coming through imports. So huge import also we are doing, right? Keep that point in mind. I will use this point in other topic. Okay, you should be able to relate it. So why it was in news? Is, so cabinet has approved a revision in the nutrient-based subsidy rates. That's why it was in news. The subsidy amount was revised. That's why it was in news. So here I have given a PYQ. So with reference to chemical fertilizers, you can go through and you will get an idea how this topic can also be asked. Okay. So next we have Arab League.
See, Arab League is a union of Arab-speaking African and Asian countries. Formed in Cairo in 1945, their objective is to have independent sovereign affairs, right? Cooperate on economic and military affairs. Initially, 6 countries were members. Now we have 22 member states. Why it was in news? In 2010, Syria was expelled from this grouping, right? Because the way they were cracking down the protesters, democratic protesters in Syria was not correct. It was violent. It was not unacceptable. Syria was cracking down the domestic protesters, I mean the democratic protesters in a very bad manner. So citing that it was expelled. But now Syria is joining the Arab League. That's why it was in news. Right. So this topic, what is more important is you should know about the map part. Right. Look at this. Syria. It is having an opening to Mediterranean Sea. It is surrounded by Turkey at the north, Iraq at the west, Jordan in the south, Israel in the southeast, and Lebanon in the east. Right, so 5 countries: Turkey in the north, Iraq in the west, Jordan in the southwest, Israel in the south, and Lebanon in the East. Iraq is east, Jordan also in east, Israel in the south, and Lebanon in the southwest. So these are the 5 surrounding countries of Syria. It has opening to Mediterranean Sea. So here we have Black Sea, here we have Caspian Sea, here we have Persian Gulf, here we have Red Sea. As I said, I will come up with a separate map classes. Don't worry. Whenever map comes, I will explain here as well. So it will be useful 2 times for you. So see, look at this question. Which of the above are members of the Organization of Turkic States? A question was asked like that. Which are the members of the Arab League can be asked. I have given the members' names here. If you want, you can go through. So let's move on to the next topic. The last topic for today's class. Jal Jeevan Mission. See, in 2019, government came with this Jal Jeevan Mission. Ministry of Jal Shakti came with this program. The objective of this program is to provide functional household tap connection for every rural household. See, in India, by 2019, almost 18.5 crore rural households were there. 18.5 rural households were there. And government wanted to give piped water connection for all the 18.5 crore households. So all okay, sir. In 2019, how many households were having water connection? Around 3.2 crore households, only 3.2 crore households were having the piped water connection. So government in 5 years, that is from 19 to 24, in that 5 years, government wanted to give water connection, piped water connection for all the rural households. That was the objective. Not just water connection, government wanted to ensure at least 55 liters of water per person per day. The per capita should be at least 55 liters of water. Government wanted to guarantee. So here, every rural household has to be given piped water connection. Not just connection, water should also be available, right? So government wanted to ensure water. So government wanted to equip the demand by giving the supplies from the local areas. So develop the supplies from the local areas and give it to meet the demand. That is the objective. So we need to have a source sustainability measure. That is also a part of this Jal Jeevan Mission. So under this Jal Jeevan Mission, government is creating a Pani Samiti at village level, with the help of Grama Sabha. A Pani Samiti will be created, a water committee will be created. So at village level, a group of people will form a water committee. This water committee, along with the implementation authorities, they will come up with a water plan, right? How to improve these sources. How to improve sources? You can go for water conservation methodologies, repair of reservoirs, right? There are so many aspects through which we can develop the sources. So they will come up with a plan. So this Pani Samiti will come up with a village action plan along with the implementation supporting agencies, right? And in this process, they will also create awareness among the people. So the aim of this program is to provide functional piped water connections. Just connection alone is not sufficient. We have to ensure water availability. To ensure both, we need proper plans, because the water we cannot bring it from distant areas. From the local area only, we have to create the source that should be in a sustainable manner. So development is very important, for which we need a proper plan. The plan will be with, the village level samitis will be developing the plan in association with the supporting agencies, right? So this program is not just ensuring pipes or water, it is also want to ensure quality. It also want to ensure quality. So at village level, usually some 5 women in each village will be trained. They will be given field test kit. So 5 women will be trained. So they will use that kit and they will test the quality of the water. So this program ensures quality. This program ensures piped water connection, and also it ensures sufficient supply of waters. Right, this is about Jal Jeevan mission. Why it was in news? So as of now, 12 crore, more than 12 crore households have this tap water connection. That's why it was in news. So 5 states, Goa, Telangana, Haryana, Gujarat, Punjab, they all have 100% water connectivity to the villages. So this is a significant step. This is a significant milestone which government has achieved, right? So this is about Jal Jeevan mission, right? So with this, we will wind up our today's class. So we have discussed 8 topics. We have also discussed some previous year questions. We have not discussed in detail, but I was giving you some reference how those structure can be applied for other topics, so that you will know what kind of questions can be asked from these topics which we have discussed today. So this slides will be uploaded, right? You can download it, and the MCQs are also uploaded. So once after watching the video, after revising this topic, you take up the MCQs. 8 MCQs I have given. So this is the routine, this is the drill. Every day this is what we are going to do. So be very sincere. Every day 8 o'clock, watch it. So don't worry about current affairs, it can be easily tackled. We will have good control over current affairs. So confidently you prepare for the exam. So see you in next video. Till then, bye. Take care.